James Harden on the decline? Should he get a max contract, or is he actually, and both, is he actually holding Philadelphia hostage? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am your host, Rashid White. All right, so you heard the introduction, you see the title, you actually see the current thumbnail there. I got to think of something, but is James Harden on the decline, or is it really his injury? And we're going to go over the box scores of last night's game, and this is some really troubling issues that the Philadelphia 76ers actually have, the dilemma that they're currently in, the lack of bench, the Joel Embiid injury. Should Daryl Morey's job actually be on the line? Because he could have traded for CJ McCollum, who looks like he's actually in far better shape than James Harden. But let's get into the topic at hand. Let's go over to last night's box scores. Joe was 16 points for James Harden, a -8, not many assists. And you see a lot of low IQ basketball played by James Harden in a sense, though. He doesn't really have the explosion, and he can't get by guys. And then on the perimeter, you see damn 30 still. PJ Tucker will be 37 years old in a couple of days. PJ Tucker blows right by him, and James Harden doesn't actually even force PJ Tucker to his offhand. He lets him go right by and get a layup. So this series is actually going to be over really fast, unless Embiid comes back and maybe they're saying maybe game 3 or game 4. And you heard James Harden's excuse yesterday. Oh, well, we're missing Joel Embiid. No. They brought you in here to actually be able to take a game over, get other players involved. But you see the turnovers from him, and probably a lot of that is because in terms of his turnovers, teams doesn't actually have to help out on James Harden as much. It doesn't, when he had 16, or even if he has 25 points, it's just not an impactful type. It doesn't really scare you in anything like that. Like, let's say how you saw Tatum with the basketball. Him dropping 25 points or Giannis dropping 30 is just a lot different than James Harden actually dropping 20-something, 25 points a game, because he's not really incorporating anybody else into the offense there. So, the only thing I can see is Tyrese Maxey he had 19 points, but again, he's a young player, man. You've seen a lot of the boneheaded decisions he was actually making yesterday. There's a learning curve to basketball. He has a hamstring injury, and I do not know if that's going to be able to get remedied or not. For him to actually get the hamstring right, then he has to sit out, I guess, 3 months. Mesomorphs to where he can burn fat in his sleep? I'm certainly not. I got to go out there and I got to start doing some cardio and physically moving to actually burn fat off. And the thing is it the commitment? Because he actually showed up into that Houston training camp a couple of years ago out of shape. So, and then there's he doesn't have any mid-range game. And let me tell you something, and I know what the analytics nerds actually say about the mid-range game, but what that actually does, in case for a player like James Harden, is that it would open up driving lanes for Harden. So basically, if he doesn't have a mid-range shot, that defenders can actually just stay down and try to strip him. And it's going to make it much more difficult for Harden, and he doesn't have the explosiveness right now to actually get to the hole and finish. So you see guys like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, I mean CP3, and you see what Chris Paul is actually doing because of that pull-up mid-range game he actually has. It keeps the defenders up, you know, trying to contest that mid-range shot to where now when the defender is up trying to contest that mid-range shot, you can actually just go right to the hole and with a little bit more ease, and especially with like bigs in a sense, depending on what kind of bigs they are, it's hard for them to actually move laterally to try to block the shot. So that's something. And again, you have Kyle Lowry in the game, footwork, post moves. You know, he should be able to post up like Duncan Robinson. He's a big guy, man. You can see him, you know. So him be able to post up, the smaller guards should be able to actually expend some energy off of him. But hasn't really worked on that. So all the partying and that he's actually has done is really coming back to bite him in the arse. You know, not taking care of his body. If you look at, I mean, I'll take LeBron James right now, and you know, just based on how he looks and how he plays over James Harden. So I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Should they actually max out James Harden? 5 years, $223 million. Brooklyn didn't want to give him that because, you know, they see that he's actually on the decline now. So you got to look at when he's 37, 38, you got to pay him $60-something million. And, you know, paying a player like that can really, really, really mess your team up, you know. But is it the injury? Is it decline? And should the Philadelphia 76ers move away from? You look at DeAndre Jordan, and he was a negative 22, so he doesn't really give you much offensively. The same thing, he's not a great free throw shooter, and then just laterally, he cannot move his feet. He can't move his feet to get when he gets switched on to these guards, man. Or even like Jimmy Butler, forget a guard. The Bam Adebayo has a little bit of moves and some quickness and everything, man. So he had him and James Harden, and even Tobias Harris came alive for 27 points. But again, it's just not, you know, it's not enough. You know, he has to, and against the Miami Heat's defense, you got to make quick decisions with the basketball. There's no holding it. You see how Tyrese Maxey plays? This is how Harden actually has to play, especially, you know, with the Nets. If they were playing the Brooklyn Nets, yeah, you can play around with Patty Mills and Seth Curry. You can do all that. But against this Miami Heat defense, I mean, the ball needs to be moving east-west and then going north and south. And that actually will actually beat a team like the Boston Celtics, like the Miami Heat, like the Phoenix Suns that actually plays that really kind of aggressive defense in a sense, the load up defense. You got to move the basketball. And James Harden hasn't been known of a ball mover. He's a ball stopper. So that type of defense is really, really, really kind of easy to play against in a sense, though, because you can just load up on Harden. All right, so we're gonna wrap this video up. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Certainly share this video. Definitely leave a comment down below there and let me know, should they actually trade him? Should they max him out? Is it James Harden on a decline, or is it the actual hamstring injury? Let me know what you think below. Peace out.